Hello YouTube and welcome to another moto vlog, coming at you the day after the previous video, which apparently is just like these two videos. So this is the 11/22/2020 video, and the one I posted just earlier, earlier today or maybe yesterday, is 11/21. So I guess I rode Saturday and Sunday. That previous video is riding by myself, and this one I am not. I don't think you really get to see who I was riding with or what was going on there. I might talk about it, I might not. I don't think it's too important to the ride, but man, I haven't watched this video, just like the last one. I mean, it's over 3 months now, almost 4 months since this ride happened, and what I did here was, it looks like I edited it mostly, so I cut the clips up, and I have a bunch of clips that seem to span the whole ride, and I kind of skimmed through that real quick to make sure that's what was going on. And now I'm just going to voice record without having watched any of the clips in detail. I kind of remember this ride. Well, I do remember this ride, but we'll see if my memory and what I've recorded line up with each other. If you watched the previous video, I do want to apologize about the audio quality on that one, my voiceover record. I used a different headset. I have a wireless gaming headset. I figured, yeah, it works for that, maybe it'll work for the video, and it seemed okay at first, and then I started listening to the audio after I had, recorded the entire voiceover track, and I was very disappointed. So I didn't want to re-record. I mean, it's an hour-long video, sorry. I'm not going to re-record it, so yeah, just have to grin and bear it, I guess. So, the purpose of this trip, not the purpose, but the general idea of this trip was I made a route with my GPS, and I wanted to ride the route. The route seemed really long, and I underestimated how long it was going to take. That's for sure. Like, I wanted to make it really long route, but as you can see in the video, like, we barely started, right? But I think that was a bad idea to go that intense with the route. Like, as you can see here on the map, that's pretty cool. So I actually, I can't believe I waited this long. I actually put this together with a map of the entire route. So we've gone 44 miles and we haven't hit that intersection yet. So as you can see, it's a pretty long route, especially because it looks pretty twisty up ahead. We're not going to be going 70 miles an hour for most of this. So, that's just the way it goes. So this is the end of 66. That's why it just intersects there, because we're at 66, or at 81. This is where 66 ends. It looks like we're not going to go very far. I'm going pretty slowly at 70 miles an hour and everyone's passing me. I just ride slow, I guess. It is a 70 though, I'll give them that. I'm going like the speed limit. Yeah, you're probably going to hear a lot of pauses and times without me talking a whole lot. I mean, I don't know what to say. It's a long video. This isn't, Yami Noob. I'm not Yami Noob, so I'm not making memes or informational anything. It's just me riding a motorcycle and talking. If you're new to the channel, I suggest, I mean, it's nothing but wind and me talking. You can always mute it. Just put it on in the background like a lo-fi. I'm catching on the trend. No, I'm just kidding. It's just like something you can have on in the background and not really pay attention to, So I guess, yeah, that's 81. That's a long on-ramp. I don't know why I felt the need to show that, but those tire marks, man. Someone had a less than spectacular evening there. So we're still moving along. As you can see, we haven't gone down the road very much. Is this it? Yeah, so this will be our exit. Maybe even like the first or second exit. I'm not really sure. As you can see, I've only gone 61.7 miles since starting. And it's been all highway at this point, right? So we just went, you know, I rode down 28, and I think we met up at like Fair Lakes area, and then we rode out on that 66 from there, which is like a mile. It was basically, you know, entirely, you know, divided highways with no exits for me, and like just a couple of neighborhood roads. So now we're finally getting onto a more country road. Yeah, I mean, but these roads, I got to admit, end up not being, most of them end up not being, you know, the most spectacular riding roads, but that's okay. It's nice to get out and at least try new things, right? When you're going for the less obvious stuff, because you already, like, you know, looked at the maps and everything on Google Maps and on Garmin. Well, I've looked at Google Maps and Garmin and like Calimoto. I think that's the one. There's an app that shows you like what it thinks are nice roads, and then there's like pre-curated lists. So I've tried like all that stuff, and I've done, I think, a lot of the better roads in this area already. So this was more of a, hey, let's go up to this other area that's a little further and try some of the roads up there. And it didn't work out so well. I think it's such a far distance to get out here that it makes it difficult to put a good route together out here, especially when you don't know the roads, because like I think I'll show where I make the turn that goes against what the GPS wanted, and I kind of just stuck with it because it was heading back. It's like on the top left where you see this whole loop here, and then when the loop starts heading back to the start, you know, like when it's at its furthest left point. That there I make a turn to the right to go back, and I thought that's where the GPS route was going, but it turns out it wasn't. I needed to turn around, but I'd already gone like a mile, and I was thinking to myself, man, look at the time, it's getting a little late, maybe we should just modify the route a bit and just go straight and just like start heading back and see what's going on. And that's what I ended up doing, and I think the best, most, you know, what I would call like technical or slow-paced, you know, roads, the ones, you know, where we're out in the woods, and I was talking about last video where, you know, it's just my kind of road where you're not going 50 miles an hour because you just don't have the visibility, and the road's too narrow, and on and on. So we skipped out on those, but we had some good roads. I think we actually had one decent road with no center line, so that's nice. What I remember in this, there was also some, like, we didn't get rained on, but some of the roads were like really sketchy looking. Yeah, I went really slow, so I think we'll see that. Could have been another video. Again, it's been a long time, so we will get to find out together. Also, I'm not gonna be doing just like a one take, because I'm trying to record this like in the middle of some other things I need to get done, and there's just no way I can fit in an hour and 23 minutes of recording into my day-to-day. But I'd rather just get the video out. If I'm going to start this thing trying to catch up on these videos, I'm going to do it, because the next video is going to be more difficult. I need to actually go through all the footage, which is not mine, and it's a few hours of footage, I think, and go through that and pick out a video, maybe like this, maybe like something else. I'm not really sure. Pick out a video that I feel like posting, you know, and putting all that together. And if I want to narrate on it, I feel like the style I'm doing right now is less appropriate, right? Because I wasn't there. So just like riffing on the video in real time as I'm watching it, like I typically do with these, it's just not, in my opinion, very appropriate for that style of video. So I need to, if I'm going to say anything, it needs to at least have some kind of thought and pre-planning put into it, so that I'm a little respectful of the other person's footage, you know what I mean? Or more respectful of them in my own. So what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Yeah, and like I said, I'm trying to answer phone my cell and stuff. Sorry. So I don't know if you didn't watch the last video. I also want to say, like, yeah, I've been trying to really cut back on the drinking, so that's been helping me try to get back into this. So no drunk Justin, hopefully, for a while. You can put me to it if I fall off or on or however the wagon thing works. I do drink occasionally, but now it's been at least a month now since I've had any like drinking for more than a couple days at a time, which is good. Yeah, I just drink like 2 times a month, or in 2 separate like occasions. So not bad. Still could be better, but I'm not like everyone. Kind of, I don't know. Hopefully, I can make it work. We'll find out. So as you can see, like we are now 85 miles into this, and we're still, I guess so. We did go down a 2-lane road, but now look, we're just on. We're on this like 2-lane road. Oh, but now I've switched it. We really moved up. So I guess we went down that road for a while because now we're 92. Well, it's not that far, but still. So we went down that road for a while. So we still haven't had any. Oh, this is a gas stop. That's why. Okay. This is us leaving, getting gas, and now we're getting back on the Smoky Mountains Expressway, or no, whatever this is, the West Virginia, whatever this West Virginia road is. I'm like not even moving very fast. That's kind of funny. Like, I could have gone a lot faster. I'm only going 55 miles an hour. I think the speed limit on this road is higher than 55. Maybe we'll see it. I think it's like 65. I'm not even kidding. Or I think it's 60 or 65. So that's kind of funny. But now I'm going 68. So that's kind of funny. Yeah. Instead of actually speeding up on the on-ramp. Yeah, I think that's at 65. It's hard to tell. My window's a little smaller. So it's hard for me to read that stuff. It comes and goes in a flash with this wide-angle lens that the GoPro has here. Also, if you're new to the channel, yeah, I shoot in the widest view. This is a Hero 5 Black, and it's ultra-wide view, 1080p, 24 FPS. I use ProTune or whatever, and I have some settings in there. I can't remember exactly what it is. I think I might use like -1/3 of a stop as well. It's not great because, again, I mean, I'm not using ND filters and locking the shutter speed, so I'm using variable shutter speed, which is not, you know, obviously amazing for video in general and YouTube in particular, where it just seems to kind of mess with the compression and stuff. But it is what it is. I mean, if I'm going to do a long ride like this, I don't have the time to be fiddling around with ND filters to get, you know, the exposure decent for the changing lighting conditions throughout the day, right? Because as of right now, maybe some days you'll be lucky, but as of right now, right, it's sort of bright, like it's sort of cloudy, but we're out in the open, and it's still daytime, and it's not that cloudy. At least where the sun is, you can see how like the screen's totally washed out there, so there's some light coming down. But the clouds could get worse, and it gets a lot darker, right? Or you head into an area where you're in the shade a lot, like the forest or something, and now all of a sudden it's a lot darker, and you need a different ND filter. Or it gets brighter, like the clouds go away completely, and now it's super sunny and bright. You need a different ND filter, so you'd have to be stopping and changing these. Or if you don't change them, you could potentially, because you have everything locked in, right? The camera doesn't have a lot of leeway, especially if it gets brighter. The camera doesn't have a lot of leeway to correct. It can't darken the picture, so you might end up overexposing the living shit out of your entire video. And there's not much you can do to correct that. If all the data has gone to white, you can't pull it back very easily. If it's too dark, the GoPro is not good at pulling back high ISO images as well as I've tried. Like I tried to record like 120 or 60 or 120 or whatever the max FPS is for 1080p, And I tried to do that inside at like a go-kart place, and it was like the worst video ever. There was so much grain. Like, I'm not a huge, I don't usually have a huge problem with grain, but in the video like that, yeah, I mean, it was like watching an old VHS tape or something, and the 120p just didn't really matter when it looked that bad, because it was using a really high ISO to compensate for having the run, you know what I mean, having to be at 120 frames per second and having a 1/120th shutter speed or lower or faster. So what are you gonna do? We're still making a lot of progress, but we're still okay. So this is probably why I'm not gonna do this ride again. We are now 126 miles into this trip, and we've basically done nothing but straight roads. And the views up here are pretty nice, I will admit. But look at this. We've gone almost as far as we're gonna go, and I mean, we haven't hit any, really back roads or anything. It's been all like highways, interstates and stuff. We had that 1 2-lane road, but that was kind of like a highway that just kind of connected the interstate and the, and whatever this road is here, 48 or something. It has a name. I really don't remember. Might have to look and see what this is called. Let's see if I can do it quick. I kind of know where it is on like the map, I think. If I zoom out and then go down here, and here it is. They call it, come on, give me a name. 55, what? Corridor H? That doesn't seem right. I could be wrong about that. But yeah, so whatever, 48, that's definitely the road. We're getting off. I cannot remember where this is. Yeah, I'm going to keep maps open here, and I'm going to see where we end up exiting, because I think it's going to be soon in the video. As I said, so we've gone 132.5 miles, right? I'm slowing down to 42. See, that doesn't seem right, the GPS. Oh, you know what? Okay, so this is why I didn't publish this video. Watching this again. The GPS. Yeah, I couldn't get the GPS for the long video to work. So, anyone who's watching this, now that we're getting onto more twisty roads and stuff, the GPS is not good. There's like a time shift, or like a there's some kind of like time issue with when you make a really long video on the GoPro. The GPS data is stored like in a text file that's embedded in the video file, okay? And this data doesn't sync to the actual video file very well. It's all in the right order and everything. It's just like the time codes are not right, and there's like a variable offset between the GPS data and the actual video data. So what that means effectively is, I mean, also look at my cable falling out. See, so I'm making one long GoPro recording. I'm being lazy, right? So I have my battery bank plugged into the camera, and I'm charging the camera the whole time I'm recording. And I make this is like a huge video. It's like a 12-hour long GoPro video. So it's divided up into a bunch of files, right? And what I did was I put the files back together on Dashware, which I think is GoPro's supported tool. And it combines all the files. It combines all the files and then generates one text file with all the GPS data, and then it allows you to make this overlay. So so what I did was I then imported a single video file into Premiere Pro, and I cut it up. So that's like the process to make this, and it took forever. I remember to render this video. When it came out, I realized, and I think this is actually, yeah, because again, just things weren't good. I was in a dark place at this point. Like, I realized, like, wow. What am I trying to say? Like, wow, like I spent like what 8-9 hours or more rendering this video, and the GPS data is all screwed up. Like, I think near the end, the further we get through the video, I think the more accurate it becomes. because that's what I did. I like synced it near the end, and I thought that would fix the whole thing. But what I've noticed, I think, is that it's ahead now. So what you're seeing on the screen here, where it's like 137.8 miles. Well, no, maybe it's more like maybe we've actually gone like 137.4 or 137.5 miles. You know what I mean? We're like the video's a little behind what the data is saying, and I think as the video goes on, it's gonna like catch up and then finally sync up near the end. I don't know. That's just what I remember doing now, and I guess I just put that away. I just forgot about it. I was so bummed out that it didn't work. I put it away. So I have to think of another way to do it. See, my optimum way to do this would be obviously to do it all through Premiere. Like, just take the GoPro, because the GPS data is embedded within the GoPro video file, right? So what I want to do is I want to take that GPS data out of the video file as like an editing step in Premiere Pro, right? So I could literally go like use an effect or something, you know, and go in and just like edit the video like normal, and then turn on and off and modify for each clip or something the GPS data, you know, or whatever the sensor logged additional data in the video that's there. I don't know if After Effects can do it. I might have to try like After Effects. I don't know, but like a plugin, you know what I mean, for like After Effects could do it. But obviously doing it with Dashware is clunky, because Dashware just spits out these videos and it takes forever to render them. So you have to. So your choice is basically like, I don't know how to explain it. Like you have to select all your edits out and then make those edits in Dashware, which is really clunky because Dashware is not very powerful. It's not a very good editing software. And then you have to render out all those videos one by one. Which, I mean, this video has tons of clips, right? Like, it would take forever. It would take an absurd amount of time, like 10 to 20 hours of editing and rendering. Like, it's just not unfathomable, but it's just it's undoable for me. So as you can see now, we're on some twisty roads, and the funny thing is, as soon as we get off the highway and go up here, it's like this dismal weather. I remember in the last video I was saying it's so beautiful and this and that and the other. Well, yeah, this is a little different. As you can see, first off, like, I'm wearing my rain jacket. I'm not wearing my BMW jacket by itself. I'm wearing the BMW jacket, and then under it is over it's the rain jacket. So I'm trying to keep warm, and I'm remembering now it's cold. Like, it is actually like maybe 40 something degrees, mid 40s. So we've been riding 143 miles, mostly at highway speeds, right? And we are cold at this point. I know I am. I think my buddy on the other bike, again, it doesn't really matter. Him on the other bike, I think he was fine because he had heated gear on this ride. So I think, if anything, I remember him saying he was hot, and I'm thinking to myself, damn, like, I'm not like freezing or nothing, but I'm not warm. That's for sure. So I think this part is going downhill, just steep grade, nothing too spectacular. And I forgot where we got off already. I forgot to look, so sorry guys. I don't really know where I am. We end up in Maryland. I don't know if we're in Maryland at this point, but at some point we end up in Maryland. And we actually do a lot of riding up there, so that's probably why the trip wasn't the best. Well, it was a good trip. It's just why the route wasn't the most, like, baller, in my opinion, motorcycle route. And I know it sounds like I'm complaining. Maybe I'm a little bit. I'm just trying to be critical of myself because, like, I mean, riding's like dangerous and time-consuming and expensive, right? So I want to get the route at least decent as much as I can. And I think this route was decent, but it was acceptable. It just was too long for the payoff, you know. So yeah, what are you gonna do? But that's how it is. Like, if you want to see something new, you want to go somewhere you haven't been, you've got to sometimes, you know, put in some miles and, you know, really get out far and just try it. The thing is, though, when you're doing that, I think what I did myself is I start looking more at the major roads, because those are the ones that can take you far and then loop and get you back within a reasonable amount of time. The other thing is when you're in like this topography here of like West Virginia and Maryland, once you start getting further in, it gets a little more hilly and mountainous. And the upshot of that is the connections between the towns. There might not be a way, like if you go into this town, there might only be like 1 or 2 roads in and out of this. And that second road, I don't know, it might be like a less obvious route that you have to, you know, plan a little better for. I think we're stopping here to pee? I don't think we're getting gas there.
Oh, you are?
I think this place is like closed. I think he couldn't pee there for some reason. I might be wrong about that, but I remember that, yeah, he couldn't pee. Let's see if we see the guy. Are we gonna see him? Yep, there he is. Alright. If you've gotten this far into the video, then I think you deserve it.
Let's take it
I think that's a fair compromise. Because if you know, you know, and I just won't mention anything after that. This was that day, so this day ended with that thing. And, you know, I mean, it just stinks, but it is what it is. And that's another reason I think that I ended up just not posting this. I didn't know what to say in the video, right? Oh yeah, there it is, Maryland. So we'll move on from the topic. Now we're in Maryland, right? And I think we make a right here. I'm pretty sure we turn right here. Yeah, 560. So I think if we had continued straight, or to the left or whatever there, I think it would have gone back into West Virginia pretty quick. But I could be wrong about that too. But as you can see here, we're headed north, so we were just right on the line on West Virginia, as you can see going up, and now going back, we're going to be in Maryland. So I didn't realize that when I made the route, but I think this route still has potential as like a summer route. I don't know. I just don't know. I'm not liking it so far to do it again because there's just... I feel like maybe getting out this far, we missed a lot of riding that we could have done closer in, right? Like maybe I could have gotten on 48 and then like not gone very far. You know what I mean? And gone down a few exits, and because we've been out there before, but maybe try some different routes out that way. Like maybe those routes don't look as good on the map, and they're not super duper twisty. But maybe there's stuff in there, you know? I don't know. I really don't know what to think. It's kind of, it's fun, but it's, you know, it's difficult to be the route leader. That's for sure. I think this route had a lot of interesting sights, though. I think you'll see it later. There's this kind of like old, more industrial, when America was more of an industrial powerhouse than it is now kind of vibe. And this has that, you know, when you think about, you know, mining and just, you know, metallurgy and just all those different kind of heavy industries like that. You get that vibe because you see those we're going to see those kind of towns, a couple of them, that are based around industry. So that's pretty cool. Nice to see. Not a place I'd want to live. I don't think anyone honestly really wants to live in a place like that. It's kind of sad. What we have to do to sustain our modern lifestyle, and you at least get a glimpse of that when you go to a place like some of the places we're going here. So now we're in just thinking, now we're in some town, I don't really know. But it's almost like a normal suburb, just with like a more, it's just like kind of like, it's like a small town layout, right? It's not big, like you just drive through the whole thing in, what'd that take, less than a minute. And that's pretty cool. Because now on the outskirts, right, you have your more bigger stuff, right? Your industry and your commercial stuff that takes up more room. And then on the interior there, you kind of have your more, like the city center stuff. So it's like you'd see anywhere else, but like on the East Coast, I should say. But it's almost like now we're kind of transitioning to like a different area of the country. So that's pretty cool. It's like we're on the cusp of the two different areas, you know, the more rural side, and then the where I live, you know, the more suburban areas. Which of course, suburban areas still do have some levels of industry, Like you see like, you know, that big quarry that's not too far from me, and you know, you got some like mining and well, not mining, but maybe some like paving and other operations going on. But yeah, nothing like what we're gonna see, I think. I don't know why I keep spoiling it, you know? It's a long video, we should just wait until we're there, you know? Instead of building anticipations for something that's probably gonna be a big letdown, right? But I guess maybe that's one hallmark of good, like I should say strong, you know, and compelling, like or I should say strong, compelling fiction writing, you know, is the ability to be confident and foreshadow properly, while also having a bit of a sense of humor about everything. Even though it is supposed to be serious, you know, like there has to be like a level of like self-awareness, in my opinion, and that makes it so much more real and compelling to me. So I don't know, 'cause, I guess if movies that way would be something like Coen Brothers kind of thing, where I think they take it further than most with the like self-awareness, like to the point where you almost like you notice it pretty much like the first time you watch one of their movies. But I think a lot of other works do that as well, movies and books and stuff, but they're more subtle about it. You'd have to watch the movie or maybe a bunch of their same director or writer, whatever's movies, to really get a sense of what they're doing, to kind of poke fun at themselves, so to speak, as the as like the writer, the narrator, that kind of thing. It's interesting to me how that like kind of way where it's like taking you out of suspension of disbelief a little bit almost makes it more realistic of a story. And I think that might be because at least what we've seen lately is that reality is, you know, it's not always like a story. I mean, like a story is supposed to follow like certain paths and elements, and things are supposed to make sense, right? But reality doesn't make sense a lot. So I think that's what you see maybe in some of these movies and books and stuff. Things are a little less sensical, a little more random. But again, it's still not reality, so you have to do it in like a formulaic kind of way that makes sense at some level, right? So, I don't know. I don't know where we're doing this, having this topic, but probably because we're just going down a hill. We're going down a hill. And for some reason I felt like showing this. They're really going on, so you've seen a lot of these signs. They're going on and on about this turn, right? Trucks need to stop. There's a big turn, and to be fair, there is. If you're out of control truck, you're gonna have a bad time at the end of this section of road here. I mean, we're losing a lot of altitude. I should have paid more attention. You can go do the math, but again, it's off. So like, you're gonna have to maybe work that in and try to find like the minimum altitude around this time, because it says like 2 miles, so I think we're still going down a bit, but it's gonna level off and start going up. So you see how bad it's falling there. So we're obviously, and the GPS data is still going down this hill like really fast. Jeez, that's kind of crazy. I mean, as you can see, this truck thing is serious with how fast the altitude is falling. And that's one of the reasons, like, I wanted to have all this GPS data in here, was I thought there was going to be some really cool information we can get out of this. But, like, yeah, we have to use our Kentucky windage with the with the GPS data, so to speak, kind of offset it in our heads, right? Because we're still falling, and look how low we are, less than 1,500 feet up in West Virginia. At less than 1,300 feet, maybe even. Yeah, it's still going. Oh my gosh, 10,000, almost less than 1,000 feet. So that's the lowest I've seen. 1,018, 17, 15. Oh my god. So as you can see, I mean, this is not very high up. We have fallen very quickly from what we were at, like 3,000 or 4,000, or we were at like 3,000 feet or something, right? Almost. So yeah, as you can see, I mean, the truck symbol, because then as soon as you get to the bottom, right, and there we go, 997. is as soon as we get to the bottom here, there's this 90-degree turn with a mountain on the side of it. And now we're getting into the place I was foreshadowing, so it wasn't that far. So you can see the company signs already. These signs that are not the typical government signs, right? Those are the signs for like the factory-related stuff in this area. So you can see, like, we build this thing up along the creek, which makes sense. Have a nice like water source, direct water source, I guess, or whatever, and you can like dump stuff into the water when you're done. And I know that's what happens. So you gotta be careful what you drink around here. I mean, you see people, you know, if you're gonna drink water and use water, you're probably better off buying water. But that's so expensive for a lot of people. Not because of just, I mean, just a few bucks here and there is a lot of money, you know, so the cost of that and transportation as well. But here's like, I think one of the main factory areas right here. You just end up driving like right by it. And it's not like the biggest factory in the world, but still, it's like right here up on the main road. It's like pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. Uh-oh, I'm getting hit up by work. Is it work? No, it's not work. Well, it is, but it's not something I have to pay too much attention to. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Yeah, but as you can see, there's like houses and stuff in the town, and like I guess people are living here, which yeah, like, and that's what I was saying before. Like, man, I feel like living in a place like this wouldn't be awful, but at the same time, it'd be weird. I feel like it'd be kind of weird. It's just like that little town, and just like it's bigger than the other town, right? But in just a minute or two, we're pretty much through the whole thing, right? So, and we're continuing on. The altitude's getting lower, 943, so we're still less than 1,000 feet. It's still kind of descending again to a lower altitude. Interesting. And again, now we're following the creek, I guess. I think it's probably going this direction, west to east. I could be wrong there. But yeah, I mean, West Virginia is such a beautiful place, that's for sure. I mean, it definitely gives off a very different vibe, which is kind of strange from what I was showing yesterday. That's for sure. And I think maybe that's because we're more into the mountains at this area. Even though it's still 835 feet, it's not very high up. We are still, you know... here I made a mistake. So there was a turn. I was supposed to make the left before this one, and that stayed on the other side of this highway here. But now I'm on this side of the highway, so I end up having to make a right when really I needed to make a left, and I didn't realize what was going on. But we do U-turn on this one. I think we already maybe. No, I don't think we've gotten to the point where I end up making like the decision to, or the really bad direction mistake. I don't think we've gotten that far yet. Or maybe we have. Maybe we already passed it a while back. Yeah, so I'm going this way and I'm like, wait, something's wrong. I'm not supposed to be going this way. That's right, I make a U-turn up here. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know how I screwed that up.
Now we're going back, and I think there was a bike there. I don't remember. I remember like people looking at us a little bit, but nothing. It's just like a small town kind of vibe, even though this is a much bigger town than the ones we've seen. We're not there yet, but you'll see as we cross this bridge, we come into a bigger town. I would say almost like a little city, kind of like for West Virginia. It's like a small city kind of area. Yeah, I mean, it's not like Arlington or DC or anything, but like it's you know, as you can see, that's like a small city, I'd say, for West Virginia. Pretty decent size, right? You got stuff going on both sides of this bridge. So that's pretty cool. I can't say I've been here before. I like this, how you're like kind of driving in on the bridge above everything, and you come down into it. That's like a really cool visual effect. I like that a lot. I don't know. I mean, it's pretty cool engineering there. Whether it's effective or not, who knows? But it looks cool. Because now we're like coming in here, and it looks like I'm going into this parking lot, but this is the road that we're supposed to be taking. So, pretty cool. It certainly looks like we're headed back at this point, right? But I do remember we go like, yeah, we loop around, and now I guess we're we're like continuing on now on the other side of the river. So this is one of the things I really like about the GS, is how it handles at low speeds. It's not very loud. It's really important to me at low speeds. It's kind of like, it makes some noise, which is cool. But even the GS as it is now, I could deal with it being a little quieter. I'm not gonna make it quieter. That's stupid. But like, the exhaust is nice. I really don't see a need to make it louder, because I like being able to be kind of stealthy in these little towns, like not make a big ruckus. And it sounds pretty nice when you get on it. Like, whatever, I don't really care about how a bike sounds too much. I mean, after listening to my buddy's Tuono, like, that's one of the best sounding bikes out there for sure. But to me, like, the problem I would have is, like, I would want to hear it every time I ride it. Kind of like I did with my R6, which isn't, you know, like one of the best sounding bikes, but still a very good sounding bike. I think it sounds as good as a leader bike, just because of how crazy, you know, batty the way it sounds is. Just that small, high revving engine. But it's pretty cool. I mean, with the GS, it's like, it sounds like good, but it doesn't sound like amazing or anything. Like, I think it sounds worse than like the R6 or a 210 or like an R1 or something. 4-cylinder engines, obviously. In terms of a Harley, I think I'd take a stock Harley exhaust note over the stock BMW exhaust note. But I would take the stock BMW exhaust note over a tuned Harley exhaust note. I do not like the way those loud Harleys sound at all. It's not for me. I get it. It's loud and in your face, and it I don't know, whatever. But for me, it's like, the Harleys aren't fast. Like, like, even if you open the bike up a lot and you make it have like 140 horsepower at the wheel or something crazy, right? It's still not like a fast bike. So, I mean, what's the point? Why not just cruise, you know? And I feel like when you're cruising around at low speeds, have a little stealth, have a little like class. That little sewing machine sound that the stock Harley exhaust makes, in my opinion, is pretty nice. I don't know, like, if I bought a stock Harley, I don't think I'd change it. I'd probably keep the stock exhaust. Or if I did change it, I'd get something like as quiet as possible while still giving some level of performance, you know? Shoot, I am gonna have to go soon. So 43, I mean, it's about halfway through, and I think this is where we go from more, I think this is like the first real twisty road here. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and stop the video now, and I'm going to do like a second leg of this when I have a little more time today. And that'll be the twisty road section of the video here. So we'll see if I have a different attitude for twisty road section. Who knows, right? How will work go? Anyways, guys, take care. I'll be back. And I'm back already. It happens that fast. And I've had my stuff pretty much taken care of for now. And look at this, we're back on the road, back on the nice, ooh, standing up, makes it so loud. So I think, yeah, this is the first really twisty road we're gonna ride through here, and I think we end up riding behind this truck. He's moving along a little bit, at least. So so can't complain too much. He's going, you know, at least at the speed limit, which is not what you can say about every vehicle that heads down these roads. And yeah, I think we ended up following this guy for quite a few minutes, so I'm not sure if I show the whole clip or not. I'm looking at it now, and yeah, it looks like it goes on a little longer. You can see the sun, it's a little brighter, but then it's darker in here, right? So before I was talking about that variable shutter speed, and that's what's going on right now. When we ride into somewhere bright, the shutter speed increases. And then when you ride into somewhere dark, the shutter speed decreases, is the way it works. So, I mean, what are you going to do? Getting a lot of messages on my phone, huh? Yeah, I'm keeping that on. I'm kind of trying to look for a PlayStation 5. I feel like that's the way to go for me if I want to do like 4K gaming or whatever. Never really played games in 4K before. I don't really know if it's worth it or not. I don't really care. My PlayStation 4 is getting really old though, and it doesn't, you know, have fast Wi-Fi, and it can't do 4K, and you know, only has a 500 gigabyte drive inside of it. Although I could put a bigger drive. I actually have a 2 terabyte SSD just sitting around, but yeah, I don't know. Didn't seem worth it. I might end up using that SSD for if I get a PlayStation 5 and they allow external USB games or something. I don't know. They gotta figure something out there, right? So that games can support being played on an external hard drive. Anyway, as you can see, we're still going and going on this road. That's the end of the clip. Oh. And I guess he has moved on to his whatever the property he's going to down there. Pretty cool. I mean, this seems like the kind of area where you do want a pickup truck, so it's like you have that bit of a conflict going on, right? On one hand, a vehicle with some performance is pretty nice, like holy moly. And then on the other hand, having the utility, you know, of a truck is kind of more important. You can see now it's like I'm going slow, so apparently I'm going to slow down up ahead to like 35 miles an hour at some point. Because we're going uphill, so it does make sense, right, that I'm going to come up on a slower section of road. Yeah, like now I'm going real slow. 20. I feel like I'm going to get stuck behind a car. 19. That's pretty slow. We'll see. Well, there is a 20 mile an hour marked section here. Yeah, I'm going pretty slow. What are you going to do? Huh, pretty cool. Yeah, see, it's like, it shows the future. So now if you want to see how fast I was going, you have to rewind and gas. So, I mean, this is a pretty nice road. Like, this is the kind of road, if you're going to do a 2-lane road, that's really nice. Look at this. You got good visibility. It's nice and smooth. You know, you're up on a ridge or something, so the view's pretty cool. I mean, to get a road shaped like this, you kind of have to be on a ridge anyway. Some kind of very hilly terrain, right? But as you can see, I mean, we're going up in altitude now. We're back up to 1,300 feet and all that. I don't know how much altitude we're going to gain back, but... I mean, 210 miles in as well. And as you can see, I mean, it's more than halfway, but still there's a long way to go. So... I'm guessing it's gonna be over 300 miles on this one. Not how accurate that is, considering the GPS sync delays or sync issues and whatnot. I don't know. Maybe within a few miles, give or take. Now, of course, comes the truck. And I guess he turned off there at this intersection. Now, I showed this road. I'm pretty sure I've been on this road before. It is what's going on here. Horse? I think that was like a horse and buggy sign right there. I recall. So it's kind of interesting. I feel like now that I'm not drinking as much, or not drinking at all, at least for this video, I'm like able to spot stuff out better. Because it does happen fast, right? Everything going on. So, I don't know. Maybe I lost a feeling and gained some more insight into just mundane. Look at this, look at that. I don't know. There's like a compound down there on the right, but I didn't really feel like I could see it well. I mean, this is just, I mean, God. It's hard to say no to a road like this. So I'm doing some like real stop and go riding. At least I was there. Let's see what I'm doing. So I'm on the outside here and I'm slowing down and crossing over to like the inside. And like really getting on the gas coming out. I guess, I mean, the visibility is lower, but even there, like, it's so late on the gas. Because I think, you know, on the inside of the turn, I really want to be more towards the outside on these left-handers. So I want to be further to the right of the road. So I remember these guys. There's a biker here. I think that there's another one that we see later. Let's see look how bright it is now, and like the difference between the bright areas and the dark areas. There's a lot of dynamic range in this scene here. Although nothing's really too dark besides like the black hand grips or whatever. And we're just, as you can see, just cruising along. Got more of these signs. I don't really know what the speed limit would be. That'd be funny to see. The place always looks familiar to me. I don't know. I remember that when I rode there and when I watched, or when I made the video before, and I remember remembering that. What the heck? Yeah, you can really see me slowing down again. Just really trying to take it easy, right? The visibility opens up, and I feel like there's some really sharp turns here to negotiate this little hill up ahead. An hour, look at that. Really cool. Just view here. It seems like one of the reasons that it's 20 was it's just like the houses and the blindness of it, right? You could rip it around there, you know, but what can you really see? What if someone, you know, comes out of their driveway? That kind of thing. So they try to keep the speeds down a little with the warning sign. To be fair, it's a somewhat sharp turn as well. Okay, so I've been here. I've definitely been here before, like in that Sunoco, and then I think I've gone down this road that we're about to show here as well. Yeah, that's 20, West Virginia 29, not US 29. I guess it's like different. And then this is like, yeah, this is a really nice, obviously road with no center line. So, I mean, again, you see my videos, you know the deal with these roads, but of course, like, they're super narrow compared to roads with lines, right? And they build the roads with less clearance on each side. Like, you go from paved to a tree, and the tree's like, look at that, like right there next to the road. There's almost no level of clearance, but we're still going 40 miles an hour, which is like, you have very little room for error at even that low amount of speed, you know? So you really have to, you know, take it easy. Oops, I gotta go for a second. We'll do take 3 here, coming up. Oh, and I'm back, already back. So quick, the fastest away and return ever. Now, had to do more work, of course. And the time that maybe the PlayStation would have dropped has passed, and it didn't drop, so whatever. I'm the one paying attention to it. I figured I'd just give it a shot for fun every now and again. I had a decent feeling about this one. Of course, decent feeling for me has meant no PlayStation so far, so what are you going to do? I don't even know why I care, right? There's like no games for it out. It's like I just want so it plays my PlayStation 4 games better. The games that I'm already playing are better, I guess, looking. I'm crazy. I don't know why I want to do it. I almost am worried that, like, it's going to be... I might as well get one while I can, because it might even get harder to get because the chip shortage isn't getting any better. You know what I mean? So it's like, if I want one for, like, next year, it might be best just to, like, grab one as soon as I can now. Just get it out of the way, so I don't have to worry about it. So what are you going to do? So now the road's getting pretty rough and tumble, Rough and tumble. Uh-oh. Good work messages again. We'll see what they have to say. Yeah, I have to message this. Alright. Another take. Alright, yeah, and I'm back. It's like, you know, I asked someone for help, but then it doesn't matter. Clients, what are they gonna do? Can't live with them, can't live without them, right? Something like that. Men, women, we're all the same. Clients, providers, you know, whatever. I like this road though. See, this is my kind of road. I do remember my buddy on the bike behind me was not having the greatest time on this road, as you can probably imagine. When you're not on an adventure touring bike, something this bumpy and crappy is not, you know, the way to go. So, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? So, who cares? Who cares? Right? Who cares? Getting more messages, of course. I can't get it done. I can't get it done. What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? So, whatever. I'm just gonna chill and, you know, have a good one. Yeah, man, it's just my kind of video, that's for sure. Well, now there's like a graphics card that you can actually buy? What? I don't know if I should buy this or not. A graphics card, because I need the rest of the computer, you know? Ugh. I'm not going to do it. I don't really want a computer right now. There's nothing really on it that I want to play that I can't really just play right now. That would also require changing other things. Like, I'm basically talking about iRacing. Like, there's no real PC game that needs a good computer that I want to play like that isn't iRacing. So, and if I did that, then I'd want like a new wheel setup and then like the triple monitors. And now all of a sudden, I've gone from $500 graphics card to like $4,000 to $5,000 in equipment. And like maybe one day, you know, get out of bikes and get into sim racing might be a good idea, but not right now. And by that time that happens, whatever. There might be a new graphics card generation, or not at this point, right? God only knows. I'd rather just get a PS5 because it's super easy, and you know it's gonna work for a while. And the PlayStation Plus is pretty slick, in my opinion, even though you have to pay for it and all that. But you get the games that are decent sometimes and whatnot. I don't know why I'm talking about this, but it's vlogging my life, right? Just vlogging my life. This is what I call like a tarmac rally road. You could totally like rally road this. What are you gonna do? Well, stand up. That's what you're gonna do. Ha! Exactly. Not bad. Not bad at all. I don't know. I kind of regret not going after that graphics card, but I don't think it's the way to go for me. I think it's just worth it to just hang out and not get something right now. Because then I'd want to get the whole system, you know. I'd end up getting, you know, new everything. Literally everything. I'd probably hold that 2 terabyte SSD, but I wouldn't use that as the primary drive. I'd want to get an NVMe drive. So that would be great, right, to have the NVMe on the PCI Express bus drive and then the other drive on the, you know, the SATA bus. Even though it's slower and whatnot, it'll still be plenty fast for like storing data and whatnot. So that'd be really nice. But still, I mean, so much stuff. The processor, I want the new Ryzen style processor and everything that goes along with that, and or maybe even an Intel, you know, new Intel series. But I don't know. I feel like AMD's the way to go, especially if you're gaming. And I don't know. Those are expensive, and you know, I'd say at least 32. I want at least 32 gigs of RAM. Because video editing and, you know, photo editing and all that really can use more RAM. So even 64, I know it sounds like ridiculous, but even like 64 gigs of RAM. So, and that's and then a decent power supply and case. And now, you know, that's pretty expensive. But then again, what am I going to do with iRacing? Just run it at 4K, I guess. I'm still going to use like this. I'm still using the same field of view. You know what I mean? With the same monitor, with the same wheel and everything. It's like, that doesn't get me anywhere. I guess I could play like Flight Simulator, but spending all that much money to play Flight Simulator by myself doesn't seem that cool. I'd rather just play freaking Gran Turismo PlayStation games. So, I'll just go for the PlayStation. And you see me justifying it for an hour. Something I decided for myself in like a good 15-20 second stops of thinking about it, right? There's just nothing you can do. Still, this is a nice ride back to reality of what I'm trying to accomplish here, instead of putting all even more to sleep by talking about computers. Hey, at least I'm not talking about cameras, right? Yeah, it's pretty, I mean, as you can see from the map, it looks like it's pretty twisty all the way until like the end of this. I think this is a pretty long road, you know, but we'll see. We will see. The letter of the day, or not the letter, the order of the day. The phrase of the day, what the hell? Got my brain up my butt. That's what I got. So, yeah. Oh well. kind of moving a little bit there. Not like too fast or nothing, but I'm gonna speed up soon. It seems so like not smooth for that through that turn. Like I like slammed my head forward or something. It's like an unnecessary movement or jerkiness of the bike. Gotta watch out for that kind of stuff. I feel like that's the kind of move I do make in a turn like that. And seeing it on camera is a little different than seeing it in real or having it happen to you in real life or doing it in real life. So I guess that's the end of this road. Yeah. What you gonna do? Alright. We get out of here? Yeah, we're going. I can hear myself talking on the mic. I have no idea what I'm saying. Right. Who knows? So yeah, I'm pretty sure this is where we get gas. We only stopped like 3 times on this whole trip, maybe. It's pretty good. Maybe I mean, until we get back to like where we go our separate ways and have dinner. Yeah, I think we stopped to meet, right? That's once, and then we stopped for gas there, and then we stopped 4, 5, 6 stops. Okay, 6 stops. That's not as good. Never mind. We had some false starts. That's right when we tried to go to the bathroom. Oh well. You got pee, man. That's the way it works. Getting out of here, making sure that stupid cable. I need to buy another cable, but I haven't done it yet. I ended up, messing it up, and it's a pain. But I can't find the battery pack right now. I went and recorded a video, and I can only record so much because of the battery pack. So yeah. What are you gonna do? What are you going to do? Of course, nothing. Right. It's like the top of the hill here. But we're still not really at a lot of elevation, so it's interesting. That's very interesting to see. I thought we were at higher elevation, like 1,000 feet or higher, through a lot of this, but apparently not. Apparently not at all. So. Where are we now? I don't remember this. I think this might just be like boring, kind of drudgery, but just, oh, that's Virginia, so this must be 55? And if, yeah, boring, drudgery is probably right. This could be 50. This might even be, I think this is 50, now that I think about it. Yeah, that's right. So yeah, what we're going to do here is we're on 50. And we were on 50 when we got gas, so duh. When we made that left, that was kind of like the end of the route. And now this is just like head back mode. So we're going to get 50 and we're going to go down to 66. So that means cutting down a little bit, as you can see there. And we go down like another kind of highway thing. It's not an interstate, but it's like a state highway. But it's got like no cross traffic. It's an interstate, basically. What you gonna do? Okay. Phrase of the day. Why am I showing this? We're just kind of cruising along. I mean, interesting, I guess. Alright, now we're moving here. Oh yeah, it's a mistake on my part. I'm like, oh yeah, we gotta like cut over. And I gotta accelerate a little bit. And then, yeah, it's pretty late braking there. And I went to the inside to make my buddy, if he messed up the braking, he'd have to go to the outside, I think. Which is a dick move. So all in all, there's a lot of mistakes by me on that little section there. What are you gonna do? This is the highway I was talking about. So I know we go down this for a while. As you can see, it's straight all the way until we intersect back with, I guess that would be 66? Might be 81. I'm not really sure. I don't know. 66 or 81. Although that might be 81 there. I don't know. We're about to find out how this goes. Man. I don't really come out this way a whole lot, you know? Got some cows. Or is that a golf course? Just a cow model? I don't think they mix cows and golf very much. Be a little weird. You get like bonus point if you like kill the cow by hitting it in the head with a golf ball. Is that even? I don't think that would kill a cow. I don't know. Could be wrong. And then we're here. Okay, so yeah. Okay, I think I'm gonna be in it. Yeah. So that straight line is 81, I guess. Going south, 81 south for the Roanoke. Huh, alright. Alright, let's do it. Not even going that fast, just chilling. I think now you can see the synchronization is getting closer. So now it's only a few seconds behind, and I think by the end of this, again, I think the synchronization will actually be correct. It's easy enough to set. It's just, man, it makes it almost not worth it. You know? When you're combining, when you're using it for more than like a few minutes at a time, it becomes this like giant hassle. I think you can get two solid files out of it. Like you need to stop, like where you need to basically have a moment where you're like stopped or something, or maybe it could be like sudden braking that's really obvious can get you close. But yes, going from a stopped to a started movement is usually your best bet. You know what I mean? Synchronize the frame the GPS starts with the frame that the movement starts, or give or take, right? And even if it's not perfect at that point, for whatever reason, it's still, you know, at least within a pretty close, right? A tenth or two of a second at worst. To live with that. Truck weigh station, of course. Yeah, just cruising. Pretty much at the end of 81 already. Wow, yeah, and then back to 66. Oh, yeah, there we go. Or I guess this is actually exiting on the 66. Yeah. That's pretty cool. See, the GoPro here can't expose dark enough, I think. It like can't expose dark enough for this scene, even with the shutter speed thing. I think it doesn't want to use a lower shutter speed. Because otherwise the sky would be a little better instead of just that, like, you know, white. What are you going to do? Seriously. It's impossible. You can't get every way, like, go out and do this kind of a ride, like a real ride, and worry about filming, and have a good time. You can't do it all, guys. I'm telling you, I know none of my people that I've met, my buddies, whatever, not buddies, acquaintances that have done YouTube stuff, you know, like, it's work. Like, if you're out there trying to, you know, to get something done, like, you can get lightning in a bottle once or twice, but, like, real videos that people are gonna, like, I don't know, like, real content, nah, that's real work. It's not fun. Like, you can't just go out for a nice Sunday ride like I just did here and make a YouTube video of it. You have to, like, stop a lot and worry about this, that, and the other, and again, like, narratives and just whatever, man. I mean, I get it. I understand why people do it, and maybe one day I would do it, but I don't know. So I'm going slow, like 60. I should be going faster than I'm going. I'm not even going the speed limit. That's funny. No wonder I'm getting past so bad. again. Look at me, 60 miles an hour. What am I doing? Why am I going 60 miles an hour on the freeway? Is this wrong? See, again, this always makes me mistrust the thing a little bit. Like, I couldn't have slowed to 60 for that guy, could I? I don't know. Well, I am speeding up. Now I'm going 70, so I did. I slowed down. I see. The truck slowed down for the car, and then I just didn't pass the truck. So again, yeah, I'm not going very fast. I am just getting past. Okay. So that makes sense. The speeds I'm going do make sense. And again, here, I'm not really... Oh, okay, here we go. Sort of. I speed up to, what, 74? That's funny. Yeah, see, I'm riding super chill. So, at least for the highway, you know, not going like 90 miles an hour and whatnot. I feel like on these open highways that you gotta at least go sort of fast. You don't want to be going like 55 and getting passed by trucks when you're on a motorcycle. You want to control when that passing happens as much as you can. That's certainly one of the ways to keep yourself safe on a motorcycle. So, what's you going to do? I know we're almost at the end of the video, so that's pretty cool. And if you watch this one and the last catching up video, it's going to be a 1-day special for a 2-day 1-day special for 2 days of riding in one. So yeah, you're getting a 2-for-1 here, because I think I'm just gonna finish editing this, give it a nice little color grade, or maybe a bad little color grade. We'll end up finding out, right? And then sending it out, because it shouldn't take too much longer, and I still have a lot of time left before I need to do any more work. So pretty sweet. It's pretty sweet, yeah. My next video is going to be a guest video again, where I'm going to edit the guy's footage and post that. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah, I'm a little nervous because I was supposed to do it a while ago, and I didn't because I'm a jackass. So, and yeah, that's it there. So I'll give that a watch and then see what's going on after that, right? Go through the footage, right? Like I don't know my workflow, so that's what I'm trying to figure out. Like maybe I'll just watch it like normal and just spend the time and maybe kind of skip through stuff with like just like quick little fast forward, skip back stuff. And then maybe I can just take notes and put like the file name and then like start and stop times, you know, and go from there. And that'll at least give me like kind of 2 goes at it. Like once when I'm just looking at the files in full screen, and then once like in Premiere Pro. And then once I pulled the files together, in that way I can decide how I want to go ahead and if I want to do any voiceovers or if I'm not, or because if I do, maybe I want to, I don't know, we'll see. It doesn't matter. I really don't know what to see. I think I looked at like a little bit of it, and I skimmed through some of the highlights with him. I don't think it's going to be a particularly long video compared to the ones I do, because this is like a different kind of thing, right? Maybe. I don't know. I mean, maybe it'll be better to kind of do this like longer form. This is what it's like to ride around with this bike a little bit, but I don't know. I'm really going to have to see what kind of footage I'm getting, so. Why am I showing this? Yeah, just going around an on-ramp at a very cautious pace. Very cautious. 47, right? So this is, I don't even know what this is. Yeah, but you can see it's like perfectly synced. Oh, this is 29, I think. Is this 29? Yeah, this is 29. So, yeah, this is like perfectly synced. That's pretty funny. Oh yeah, that's why we're gonna ride through like the battlefield and stuff. Okay, rather than just go straight there. Yeah, nice. So this is, I mean, this was a good ride. It had a lot of just kind of highway cruising. I'd say a decent ride. It was a decent ride. It had a lot of highway cruising, but a lot of that highway cruising did have good views. The temperature was a little low. That didn't help, especially for the length of time and the highway riding and all of the elevation. So I think I could have picked a better route for this kind of temperature. Anyway, the twisty parts were really nice for the most part. There was that one bumpy road, but everything else was nice, although there just wasn't a lot of it. And yeah, I mean, not a lot of traffic. Things were good that way. Beautiful views. Just love this time of year, right? Like, look at it. It's just browns and greens. Gosh, I hope I can find a way to, like, I don't know. I feel like color grading this is going to be tricky. For sure. Like, usually what I do is pick, like, I'm just going to probably give this whole thing a single color grade. And that's it. Again, I don't really know what I'm doing. I've watched some videos and tutorials, but it's very difficult. My monitor is obviously not calibrated, or whatever that means. I'm just whatever, you know. And, yeah. So, it might look okay on my screen and off on yours or something, right? Sorry. Oh, we've got 2 clips left, guys, because we're getting close, right? We're almost through Manassas Battlefield. And, well, now we are through Manassas Battlefield. And, yeah, we're getting to the, we're in, like, the city of Manassas, or Centerville. We're in the city of Centerville, sorry. Or town, whatever. Compare this to that place in West Virginia. It's like, what the hell, right? This is so, like, this is crazy. It's so different. It's like almost like a different world, but it's just right there, you know, a few, you know, just 100 miles of riding away, right? So at this point we did 315 miles. That's pretty respectable, I think, for a day. That wasn't like, you know, hard day, fast day on the highway the whole time, right?
That's a great movie. It's when you know the guy.
Talking about movies, that's right. Ain't talking about movies. Yeah, 315 miles. That's pretty cool, right? And yeah, see, now we're down at like pretty close to sea level, just 300 feet, but still. Yeah, you gotta make a U-turn if you go this way to this restaurant. Tight U-turn, tight enough. I mean, not good, but passable. Passable U-turn. Pull in here, and then that's it, guys. I thank you for watching, and as always, think about your riding.